Welcome, Dr. Jason Dean, BraveTV, January 2nd, 2025. I had to look at my calendar. Happy New Year. Your source for health, freedom, and knowledge. I probably totally screwed that up, but it is the new year, and I had a. Why do people call me Showtime? Sorry.
Hi, everyone.
I tried. I had such a good day yesterday. I tried.
I had a good day yesterday, too. I felt good about the show. I mean,
I even had a good day this morning, but this is where I failed.
Yeah, I woke up, did some yoga this morning, got adjusted this morning, and I was like ready to roll. And then there's just too many retards out there for my liking.
My God. So I want people to really, as they come blowing in here, I couldn't handle, like, I'm struggling with X and any social media right now.
Yeah.
Because people want to be aware of what's going on, but they refuse to be aware of what's going on. Based on what you saw yesterday, how much, what percentage of social media became completely inflamed, no pun intended, to Trump bombing, the Louisiana thing, etc.? What percentage got inflamed by it?
Well, let's take it a step further. What percentage was quick to blame this and that? And nobody's putting their fingers on the right people. And I'm sitting here like, are you guys this stupid? Because do people really, Nicolette, do people really think? Now, here's the question. I want anyone in the comments to answer this, but I want your answer, obviously, too. Because obviously you and I both thought very differently probably 10 plus years ago. I had a very war hawk Republican mindset. I have completely done a 180 on my whole life, viewpoint of everything, right? Do you think that every country that practices Islam just wants America dead? According to them, that's what it is. But nobody reads documents, and everything. All the alt-right Christian people say, oh, well, every other religion basically says that it wants Americans dead or it wants pedophiles or whatever. But I would like to question how many people have actually read their doctrine to actually know this. Nobody pays attention to that. Most people don't even know the Bible, let alone the Torah or anything else, So I take things like that with a grain of salt. And yesterday I was enraged by this Islamic, and I still am this morning, this Islamic narrative. To see, his wife said that he's been listening, or he's been going to the mosque and stuff lately, and he's changed quite a bit. No. Back up for a second. These are the Cybertruck and this Louisiana thing are two people that were in our military at the same Fort Bragg, which is like Fort Liberty or something now. They changed the name, of course. What radicalized them? They're both Afghan vets too, by the way. And so this is one thing that I've always said, and this, people need to understand me when I say this. You guys can yell from the rooftops about, we need to help our veterans on our streets before overseas. We need to help our veterans more. We need to give them all their benefits. If you don't understand that this is purposely done, the same way autism was purposely done, the same way veterans are done to be made into essentially mind-controlled soldiers. And this isn't like throwing veterans. I love my vets. My husband is a vet. But my husband was smart enough to see beyond that. When he went overseas, 2007 to 2011, he went overseas twice. He was in Iraqi Freedom Operation. When he went overseas, those people over there had no clue why we took over their country. No clue. So he came home and he studied 9/11. He's like, what the fuck did I just do? They want these people drugged. They go to the VA for help. Oh, I have PTSD. Here's 15 drugs that I'm going to put you on. And SSRIs, we all know how that leads. So, of course, you're going to get these radicalized, drugged-minded one-offs that the FBI will have you believing that it's something that is an outside source when they're the ones controlling their minds. And that's what makes me so mad when people are like, well, if the FBI wasn't focusing on Trump supporters, you can't have it both ways. Do you trust the FBI or not? Because I don't trust the FBI to handle right or left wing or my local farmer's market selling guns or something. I don't trust them for anything. I don't want them to
but
take
here's
over
the question.
an investigation.
But here's the question. Okay, let's break this out. And then if anybody wants to mention in the comments where they get it, but I don't think that's going to work because they're not, like, the people that do comment are not getting it from here. Nicolette, where do you think the majority of conservatives today are getting their media?
X.
No. Like,
do.
conservative people. You told me
I
that's
think
not
it's
true.
X. I think that it's
No,
X,
like, no. I'm talking about regular, just people. I'm talking about people. I'm not talking about people who are online like us. I'm talking about people. Like,
I don't think people are watching mainstream media. I think if they're watching X and podcasts and reels,
I think they're getting it from Facebook, which is totally inaccurate data.
Well, I'll put two people out there right now. The fact that people like Charlie Kirk and Posobiec are so fucking big drives me crazy. There's people that I go to.
It's normie crap. It's normie crap.
They're not on X. They might not necessarily be on X, but they follow them with...
Well, okay, where do your parents get their information?
Me. That's it. My parents have stopped watching the news. They don't listen to anything else.
Okay.
But, I mean, the older generations is still mainstream media. A lot of them are.
Where do your friends get their information?
Serious question, probably me.
You're not the outlet for everybody. They're not talking to you 24/7.
Anytime anything happens. But...
Okay, so my family, I can tell you right now, not my family here. My mom's side, my mom's side, she's probably social media a little bit more. My dad's side, probably mostly, not that they're conservatives. Yeah. But I guarantee you in the morning Fox News is on.
Yeah, well, so this is a huge discrepancy, and I had this conversation with Tim's grandma, who doesn't really lean... she doesn't understand, but she, liked the Bushes and stuff like that. So I guess you could say she's in the warmonger group where she was that type of Republican. She was happy that Tim was going to serve, proud. I mean, which there's something to be proud of regardless, but she turns on Fox News, but it's the local, which is completely left. All the local Fox News.
But the majority of conservatives, Nicolette, the majority of conservative people. Now, I know mainstream media is dying, like MSNBC, CNN. That's because it's a liberal network and it's falling apart anyway. But I'm telling you, Fox News is still the beacon of light for conservatives. Newsmax, OAN, and guess what they're all doing the last 2 days?
Islamic terrorist shit.
That is correct. You know what that means, Nicolette? The war machine, they will not step out of the conservative right. Remember, yes, the freaking stupid quartering, and yes, it's stupid. He's such a freaking, it's ridiculous how bad he is at what he understands. He knows nothing. You have all these podcasts, right? Yes, it appears optically like they're really popular because they get hundreds of thousands of views on Rumble. Those numbers are minuscule compared to the conservative populace in America, which is hundreds of millions of people. That means that we are still this tiny, and Newsmax, OAN, Right Side Broadcasting, except those are the ones who are getting the people. Fox is still the top of the food chain. And guess what? All of them are promoting the same exact thing that happened 20 years ago, which is go to war, go to war, go to war. And guess what? Nobody learned anything.
And that was my post yesterday. I said, you know that we were lied to about 9/11 and you're going to sign right up to do the same thing. When you say Fox News to me, I think of Hannity, ultimate warmonger, little Lindsey Graham crackers, other butt buddy that I can't stand.
His butt buddy.
I want people, let me summarize this because you guys can get so pissed
if you don't know what butt buddy is out there, everybody, I will not say it out loud in case you have kids.
I think y'all got it. But anyway.
Lindsay gets bent over.
Always. And probably paid to do so. But anyway, regardless, my point, when we talk about these things, everybody, we're so upset about these Indian visas and H-1B and we want America first. We don't want any more spending. Do you realize that they just sold the nation to go to war for Israel?
Of course they did.
Like, that's what it just came down to. Again, and you still have fucking conservatives with pray for Israel, have a Star of David as my fucking profile photo. And I'm sitting here like, if you are spewing this Israel garbage, get the fuck. And that doesn't make me anti-Semitic. I'm not voting for Hamas. Being anti-Israel isn't pro-Hamas. But I have a smart enough mind to know that we fucking created Hamas and ISIS and the Mossad and the Ba'ath Party and Al-Qaeda.
You know what I love?
What?
These channels still have millions and millions and millions of followers.
That's my point.
What did we talk about 3+ years ago, Nicolette? They're still watching. We told them what was coming. I don't want to say we're prophetic because I would not use that word, but we do see what's happening. Like, and I'll give Tori credit here too. Like, she said it was going to happen. We've said this was going to happen. We said they're going to push you towards the right side of the matrix, and I would guarantee over 50% of this viewing public right now that's watching this and is going to watch this fall for the same nonsense that they fell for forever ago. Right? And can I tell you something else I had to do? I don't know if you noticed this or not, and I didn't tell you because I knew you were going to get pissed off and I'm just going to let it happen, right? I get a message behind the scene from a viewer, and they're like, I don't have your Rumble channel anymore. It's a 404 error message. What is happening? I go, do you know what I did? They're like, what? I go, I changed the handle of the channel. Now, the title now is Dr. Jason Dean /BraveTV. It is no longer rumble.com/c/BraveTV. It is now, the channel handle is now at Dr. Jason Dean. Do you know why? Because stats were going down from a viewership standpoint, and I knew Rumble couldn't be like, they're not going after us. That doesn't make any sense because people say much worse than I do. What happened is, no one looks the channel up. No one's going for the channel. So I had to put the channel in my name, and guess what happened literally within 24 hours? All the stats kept going up.
Yeah.
So the channel is still there. It's just not under Brave TV anymore. The Brave TV is still in the title, but the actual channel, which is the actual name, is my name now, because this is a problem. They only care about the names of people. That no one cares about the Brave TV brand. No, I understand people who are watching. I appreciate all of you who understand Brave TV and thanked us. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about, we are so celebrity driven in this freaking world, and nobody wants to hear the truth about shit. I had to put I told Nicolette this morning, I'm like, you need to post more on X because she's coming up with brilliance behind the scenes on the last 2 days. But nobody knows about it because no one will look at it because she's also got to post stuff. And I go, you just have to barrage posting. Like I posted this morning, I thought Ron Paul was a crazy MFer in 2008 because he talked about blowback. And I was such a freaking Bush McCain war hawk at that point that I couldn't see through the fog of war. So I thought, that's what I grew up with. I grew up with Fox News. And then when I found out what was actually happening, literally 180 in all my philosophical thoughts, my politics. Ron Paul is my freaking political hero to this day, right? Like, but this is the problem. This is the problem. We're like right back in 2008 again because we're like Americans are ready to send the fucking F whatever's overseas right now and go after guys, the whole goal for decades is to have a Christian Muslim war and to go after Iran. That's their whole purpose. And guess what? They're this close. Why?
And
Because you guys out there are allowing it.
I'm gonna let people know right now that is not a fight we'd win.
Of course not.
We didn't win the last wars, but to be honest, Iran teamed up with Russia, China. I've always said I don't fear when people are like, "Oh, China's at our door and China's spying on us and blah blah blah." I don't fear that. You know what I fear? The entire world order of BRICS against the United States, because right now we have a woke ass military, people that don't even know. I have active military, and I'll say this out loud. I'm not going to say their names, obviously. Active military that was ready to go to war right away as soon as October 7th happened in Israel. And they were like, "Did you see what they did to babies?" And I was like, "Fucking prove it." Because we were in a war for 20 plus years.
The only thing that needs to be proven is that screen in front of them, Nicolette. It's all they care about. Saying.
We were in a war for 20 plus years with my husband over there taking pictures, and I have less footage of that entire war than I do of that one day. So explain to me how we were able to get all that footage, how we were, like, I don't even believe that half those bodies were real. They're probably fucking baby dolls for all people know. I don't believe anything. Do you guys not remember in COVID where we saw piles of body and somebody smoking a cigarette out of the fucking, like, bag? That person was clearly alive, and it was staged.
Here's a question for you. If you were in the middle of a war and babies are getting blown up, blood all over the place, you're getting shot at, bombs are flying, do you take out your phone and record the whole experience? Or do you try to save your ass and those around you?
Yeah, you try.
But don't worry. We're going to live stream the whole thing for you because we want to make sure everyone sees the plight of the Israelis, the Palestinians, and the Ukrainians. We want everyone to feel. But guess what, Nicolette? I was right. They're all watching fucking Fox News.
February 24th, 2022. So 22422. Was when the Russia-Ukraine war started, for people that don't know. I remember it because it was the day after my daughter's birthday. And I see it on the news. I see it on Fox News because I wasn't anywhere near, whatever. Anyway, I see it on Fox News. This lady whose husband is going to war for Ukraine is fully dressed up with makeup on in a bunker, live streaming to Fox News. Not an actual host, just a random Ukrainian holding a baby who is completely silent. They're all supposedly pushed in this bunker. She has a 6-year-old playing next to her. And I'm sitting here. If I had a 6-year-old that had to be rushed into a bunker, they're going to be hysterical.
Right.
No kid is going to be calm in that aspect. How do you have, in a nuclear bunker, how do you have reception to stream to Fox News? Why did you put makeup on in the middle of war?
Sorry.
So the fact that people are, this is the things that,
this is bullshit. You know it's bullshit. You know it's bullshit. They put the football game on today at 4:00. That's bullshit. If you're going to delay this damn game, I want to see this thing at night so I can watch it. Sorry, continue on. I've been distracted.
It's okay, but these are the things. This is why this morning I wrote the Serenity prayer in the mod group, and I know that I seem frustrated and stuff because I am.
You should be frustrated. I'm not frustrated as in I'm not frustrated with the situation like you. I'm frustrated with the people who are falling for this shit.
But that's exactly my point. I lose hope, and it's extremely worrisome for me to see people falling into the same shit over and over and over again and not learning a lesson from it. Everything that I've ever done in my life, vaccinating my son, whatever, anything that most people would be like, "Oh, I regret that so much." I don't, because I learned something from it. And nobody's learning jack shit anymore. We're on Thursday. So 4 days, we streamed all 4 days. I wasn't on necessarily, but I remember at least 2 out of the 3 of the days we got questions in the comments about fucking fog. And I'm like, it's such a distraction. It's such a distraction. Michigan right now, you can't.
They're panicking over the fog they're breathing in while they drink their city water, and they're not worried about that at all.
Yeah. I just Michigan right now has a whole slew of shit happening with vaccines, and now half of our eggs on the shelf are triple the price because they went to cage free. And while people think that's better, you could literally just have chickens in a closet versus a cage, and that's considered cage free. But it just took out all of the commercial eggs that most Americans eat regularly. Not saying that they're great, but it just made things more expensive for people. And it just all of these things happening that are real things. So in that serenity prayer, it says, grant me. I don't remember it word for word. I'm not in AA, which they use that regularly.
I'll find out about it Sunday.
Yeah. So it's basically patience and discernment for things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can. And I read that this morning and I was like, you know what? I can make a change because I'm going to keep talking about this. I'm going to keep telling you people how bad Lindsey Graham is, because we still have conservatives that are, oh, it's the left. It's the left. The left is ruining our country. Last time I checked, Lindsey Graham was red and he's with Trump all the fucking time. So that's the shit that pisses me off when all of this stuff happens. I'm like, I can change that. It's not going to happen overnight, but I can't change fucking fog. How am I supposed?
Lizzie says,
why
"It's
am I gonna worry about
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference."
Yeah,
I want
So what are the
anyone. I
things-
want anyone to prove. So here's a question for you, Nicolette, because I know you and I and Dr. Jen and Lizzie behind the scenes, we've been doing some similar things the last couple of days, right? You were kind of productive doing some stuff. I was working on email. I was watching the college game at the same time, but just because it's an enjoyable sport to watch, and I was working while I'm doing it, so I'm not just sitting my lazy ass. And I was not paying attention to anything that was going on yesterday. I saw some headlines, but I just ignored it because whatever. I was peaceful all day working on productivity, and then I'm finding out the rest of the world is in a roller coaster of emotions all day because something blew up in front of Trump Hotel, which obviously is a terrible thing, right? It's not a good thing. Yeah. But if you live in, let's say, Florida, and something blows up in front of the tower of Trump Tower in Las Vegas, and no one was hurt, no one was killed, thank God, does that actually have to impact you at all in Florida? Because if you become angered or scared or emotional or whatever, does that why? But why? Okay, oh my God, they're going after President Trump, but they're not. President Trump is not staying at Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. I don't know if anybody knows that. That's not where he stays.
Right. But this is the game. This is the entire distraction game, and this is why MK Ultra and the Mockingbird media and all of these things work so well. People, as I was saying, people can blame the FBI, the CIA, they can blame left, they can blame all these things, but not only do the government entities create the violence, they sell you the fact that their hands are clean every single time, and people are blaming each other always. And I'm sitting here okay, what drugs was this person on? What training did they go through at the academy?
Right away, what medications are they on?
Right. What general did they serve under?
Does everyone know? Does everyone know you can be on mind-altering and brain-altering drugs and be in the military? Does everyone know that?
Yeah, you 100% can.
But I don't think people realize that.
Yeah, things are way open now compared to how they used to be. It used to be, oh, well, you can't be in the military if you're flat-footed or you have tattoos,
right,
or any of these things. And now the door is wide open, practically. I mean, obviously, people are getting sex changes and wearing maternity uniforms and all these other things. But the solution is fucking discernment. That at the end of the day, it's discernment.
And here's a question for you. Yeah. So the thing happened in Louisiana, right, before the game, and they postponed the game till today, which is what I am annoyed because it's Thursday. I could just watch the game tonight and while I'm working, but instead it's at 4:00 in the afternoon, which is retarded when everyone else is busy. But the so people will say, well, I'm afraid to go out because what if something happens where I am?
It's your entire life.
Well, first of all, I don't recommend going to Bourbon Street because it's a shithole.
Yeah.
And also, I've been to Bourbon Street when I was younger, right? I'm going to recommend as a human and as a mature adult, Bourbon Street's not the place to go any given night. Like it's
What
literally
did I say yesterday
disgusting.
about all the places that were struck by lightning or this catastrophic event happened? All of these places are places of sin. All these places keep people imprisoned.
Right.
So when that happened, a side note.
So here's an idea: don't go to places of sin.
Yeah. And this isn't just a Christian thing; it's a moral thing. And for something like Louisiana, the one girl, she's 18 years old. What the fuck was she even doing there?
Oh, I can tell you what she was doing there.
I know. I can tell you what she's doing there too. However,
I went one time, Nicolette, to Bourbon Street when I was in my, I think it was 25 or something like that. And I didn't really drink that much, right? Because I'm not a drinker. Nicolette, have you been to Bourbon Street?
No, but
can I explain to you really quick what it looks like?
Like that looked like trash to me.
No. It's not trash. Like as you walk up and down, I wasn't even there during the Mardi Gras. I was just there on like a regular Saturday night, like during like maybe bowl season or something like that. Nicolette, I'm not joking. It's bars every 2 feet, but here's the kicker. Over 50% of the crowd, and there's a lot of people there, are not just drunk. They can't walk drunk. But then on top of that, let me tell you something else. Alcohol's all over the street because they can't hold on to their cups because they're wasted. And on top of that,
they have an open carry, like
there's literal piss, vomit, and shit all over the streets because they're so drunk.
Yeah.
That they can't get to like that. And I'm not joking. Like it's legitimately a shithole.
I am fully transparent on the show. Always have been. I partied earlier than I should have before turning 21. And for my 21st birthday, I went to Nashville. And by the second day, I was done. I was like, oh, we can go a few blocks over, have a few drinks, just be chill, not on Broadway. I don't like this city type of thing. There was a video, and this is completely like, this just goes off of what you were saying the other day. So Stu Peters posted this video the other day, and I can't stand Stu Peters, but I'll go ahead anyway. Somebody, and I'm assuming it was New York, and somebody was on top of a trash can defecating into the trash can.
I saw that.
Okay, but they were blaming illegals for it. And I was like, in what context of this video do you know that person's legal status? Meanwhile, places like Grand Rapids, Michigan, have literally made it legal to defecate in the street years ago, and multiple other cities. And you're worried about somebody who at least has the decency to do it on a trash can.
I'm telling you, guess what? I'm not putting this out as fear porn, but I'm going to ride this promotion like crazy. The fucking earthquake is coming, Nicolette. And I'm not joking. The earthquake is coming. And it's going to hit the West hard. I'm telling you, if you're in California right now, or you're up through the, whatever they call the fault up into the Northeast, and I don't remember it all off the top. There's San Andreas out west, and there's something else coming up the Northeastern. I'm telling you, I would not be specifically in California, on the coast, the LA area, the Hollywood, the San Diego. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm watching the earthquakes charts, and I'm watching people who know the earthquake charts. They're saying the big one is coming, and that little tsunami thing that was supposedly like not real in San Francisco a month or so ago, whatever it was, that was a test. They know what's coming.
Yeah. When
New Madrid, thank you.
Yeah, I don't doubt that it's coming, because in this, I have to be so careful with this, because the Christian alt-right has made it to the point where I don't like to speak biblically because things get changed and twisted. But there needs to be reconcile penance in these places of sin.
Oh yeah, God's pissed.
Yeah, exactly. This is the galactic war that we're fighting because we are a low vibration society. And as I said, all those places were places of sin. And I don't say that lightly.
It's not
You
just
asked me if
sin.
I
Like it's the bottom of the barrel, devilish sin.
right. But you asked me if I had ever been to New Orleans or Bourbon Street.
I've been to New Orleans,
And
but New Orleans is one thing. New Orleans could be a cool
yeah.
place. Bourbon Street specifically is a
Well,
hellhole.
I would actually love to go to a place like that. I would love to go study the French Quarter. You guys know that I've dug into the Knights Templar, which is a very heavy influence on how New Orleans and stuff got its founding. However, this type of shit makes it to where I can't, and the history is so obscured because of the things that were put in place in these places. Same with New York. I would love to go for the art and the theater and stuff, but I don't really want to walk across rats or get lit on fire on the subway in order to get there.
I agree.
Same with DC. I love the museums and stuff. Do I want to go to DC where I don't feel safe? No.
No.
So I want people to get their heads out of their asses, think for themselves. Everybody says, "Oh, I'm a cognitive, whatever being." Prove it at this point, because if we all sign on and fall right in line of left, right, I posted on X. I said the cabal, the swamp, the deep state, whatever you want to call it, wears no colors.
Mm-hmm.
They don't identify as any freaking color. It's just a matter of they hate you. They want to enslave you, and they always have.
That is correct. In other news, real quick, everybody, I will probably be doing a metabolic reset webinar on Monday. You will get information on it. I don't have the link yet. I have not created the link. Probably be doing one on Monday. Let me actually do some house cleaning. Some of this is kind of cool. 2 days ago, got a text from my mom, who I adore, but my mom drives me up a wall. I love her. As most parents drive their kids up a wall in a lovingly way. So I get a text and she says, "Hey, I need you to come home." And I'm like, "What?" It's like, and she's like, "This weekend." And this was like Tuesday. I'm like, what do you mean? So my mom is receiving her 26-year, I'm going to say this incorrectly because I don't know the actual terminology, but basically she's receiving her 26-year AA sobriety medallion on this Sunday. Mm-hmm. So she's like, since I grew up around her and we went through all the fun together, so I will be giving her that medallion, award, whatever it is, on Sunday. So I'm just flying by myself because it's going to be easier just to get up there and be done. So if you follow my social media, whether it's X or Facebook or anything like that, I'll probably be documenting a bit of because I'm literally flying back into my old hometown, driving through my old college town back to see my old family in my little small town. And then I'll be driving over to my mom's and doing the medallion thing. So I'll be flying in. I'm not telling you where I'm flying into because people will be like, "Well, let me see." I don't have any time. It's literally going to be a straight shot. So I'm flying in late Friday.
Fantastic for your mother.
I'm flying in late tomorrow night, and I'm flying back late Sunday night, actually. So it's a Friday to Sunday in and out. So I will be pretty consumed with that because I'm going to go see family. My wife and daughter are staying home. I'm like, let me just go home, and this is kind of a closure moment for me, and it's necessary. So let me just go do this. Yeah. I'm going to be sprinting across the state, so you don't need to be in the car for a long time. So that's going to happen. But Monday, most likely, I will do the next webinar on the metabolic reset, and then we're about a week and a half away from the full moon protocol, the parasite purge. So get that stuff going. And the reason I bring up the metabolic reset and the purge is, and this drives you up a wall too, but this drives me up a wall, which has to do with like the news cycle. Mm-hmm. this is I'm happy to my education platform has to change.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be doing this year. I'm transitioning myself. I've made the decision. It's done. It's just a matter of timing at this point. Transitioning out of the day-to-day situation, because part of it is I can't handle the day-to-day lack of reality of when someone said, and other doctors are dealing with this too. I know it because I see them on social media, even the Sean Bakers of the world, like people who have big followings. You can't ask doctors how to be healthy and then turn around and do the exact opposite and continue to stay in your programmed medical paradigm. So I don't know how many times I say, stop stressing about the cholesterol. Like, let's find out what it is. Or, for example, because this was all this past week and today, so far already. Oh my gosh, I don't feel good. What's happening? I have a rash on my body. I have redness. I have my lungs. I'm coughing. I'm sneezing. I'm sniffling. My brain fog, headache, my digestion, blah, like you name the symptom, Nicolette. And the first thing they think of is products must not be working, or I'm taking, and I'm going, what? I had to go to the urgent care over the weekend. I wasn't feeling good. So they thought, let's just do an antibiotic for a week.
Antibiotics, steroids, I've heard recently.
And then I say,
yeah.
And then I go, I'm just curious. What'd you eat for Christmas? Oh, well. No, not oh, well. Like all year long, people ask every single day, and they barrage, not just me, all the doctor influencers out there. I hear about it because I know some of them. Oh my gosh, what do I do about this? Oh my gosh, this is a problem. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And then it's an emergency for them, Nicolette. It's an emergency. Your emergency is not my emergency, right?
Yeah.
How was I, Nicolette, able to survive Christmas without sugar? But they were not able to.
I told you I kept away from all the cookie trays and shit that, people bring. And my mom's neighbor brought over a box of chocolates and stuff. And I'm like, was able to keep away from all of it. Now, did I have dairy that inflamed shit on top of stress?
Right,
Yeah.
but you didn't go. You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't take information. Remember, there's ignorance,
Right.
and there's stupidity. Stupid doesn't mean we're telling somebody they're a bad person, or they're like ignorance is you're doing something that is bad for you, but you're not really aware of it. You don't have information, right? So you're like, oh, okay, I didn't do it. And then you meet them. You're like, oh, did you know this is blah, blah, blah? Oh my gosh, I didn't know. Great. You're no longer ignorant, okay? You have knowledge of something. You start learning it on your own. Okay, the ignorance is gone. You now know. Now, the holiday comes up, and you're unable to get past the urges. And so you not only just have a bite, you binge on something. Then you complain about it. Now that is the definition of stupidity. Now, we've all been stupid before. You can change it. However, many of you don't want to change it.
I was going to say, isn't this everything that we've been talking about today? Whether it's health or politics or any of the things that we're covering, people are creatures of habit. I'll tell you, in the last year, 2 years, particularly, I've made it a goal for myself this year. There's a reason why things like Nike's "Just Do It" slogan is it. Don't stop with the excuses. Everybody stop with the excuses. I sit here, I said yesterday on the show, I said, I don't feel up to par every day. So I know that the viewers don't. I said, but I still am pushing myself. I think it's like 30 days. If you do something for 30 days in a row, like it becomes a natural habit. Push yourself for those 30 days to get up and get active. Push yourself for 30 days to turn off that TV. Friggin' throw a blanket over the TV and don't even turn it on for that 30 days. But the problem is you have to take that first step. You have so many people. Oh, well, I was doing great with my supplements. I took them for like 2 days and then I kind of felt yucky because I think I had a Herx reaction. So I dropped off. Can I do the full moon protocol this time around? Is it going to be as effective? Blah, blah, blah. Like a million freaking questions. Just do it. Just do it.
Yep.
That's it. Take that first step. Start creating those better habits. Actually, that's what I've been doing lately. When you were like, "Oh, you've been productive the last few days," I got 2 new books for Christmas that I've had myself
Ooh.
buried about these habits. But this goes with everything. We're all creatures of habit, but it's up to you to change those habits. Nobody's going to do it for you. The world
Right.
doesn't make it easier for you to not eat those cookies, but it's your discipline that has to do it.
100%. 100%. I mean, it's, and by the way, everybody, I'm not going to say we predict this because I don't know. I'm just telling you. I do know. I don't know every detail. I do know, however, between now and April is going to be a very uncomfortable time. When I say uncomfortable, I'm not worried about anything. I'm not worried about stuff. I'm not worried about my life. I'm not worried about things in the world. I'm saying that if you're energetically consumed by this stuff on a daily basis, for Nicolette and myself, and obviously many of you out there, and for our families who are awake to this, it's that meme where it says like normie and then somebody else and then Anon smiling and the normie's all terrified, whatever.
Yeah.
We're watching this as astute observers, and we're looking for the lining of what this is, how it fits together, and looking at the gematria stuff behind the scenes, and Nick looks at the history of stuff. So we like it because it's unfolding and we know we're getting to the final aspect of this. However, social media, for many of you out there who are literally living and dying by that sword every day, and you're involved in the money system and you're staying normal and average in the money system, and you're not trying to help yourself or better yourself, and you're staying comfortable, you're in for a rude awakening over this year, and especially the next 3 to 4 months.
Yeah. No, I agree. And back to what I was saying really quick, just for like the just do it type of thing. Yeah, it's the new year, and that's kind of a sellout thing to be like resolutions, but everybody should set goals for themselves. Go write down what are some goals that you want to achieve this year, in the next month. And it's not just about, if you want to lose weight, but what is something that you can literally be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to do this instead. Because when you do stuff like that, as you said, things are going to get very uncomfortable. I am sick of every time something happens with crypto, seeing messages on Dr. Dean's post saying, I don't know anything about it. Well, we've had a prosperity group for 2 years.
But Nicolette, how dare they spend $79 a month to better themselves?
It's not even about the money. You've had
no, but that's what it is.
Even.
No, that's what many of them complain about, is the fact that they don't know anything about it. They want to learn, but that $79 is that's too big of a barrier for them to start something in their life.
Once again, you've had free webinars, you had free emails. The very beginning was a free crypto email multiple times.
Yeah.
Completely free.
Do you know how much money I've made off of $79 in a month? Not from people. Do you know how much money that our own advice has made us? I mean, did I tell you what I did yesterday?
No.
So I literally became my own bank.
Oh, yeah. I put money into the, what do you call, percentage too.
So I'm doing a project, right? So I'm putting a project together. The project costs a certain amount. I'm not going to go into the numbers, but it costs a certain amount. So what I did was I took money that we had, I put it into cryptos that I knew was going to rise in the next 30 days, put it in there, nice and safe. So the project will never cost me money because the growth of the crypto will pay for the project, and I still have my base income that I still have my original source income.
But this is what, like, as we're talking about this, I know what you're talking about because I've been somewhat studying it, not nearly as much as you and Dr. Jen, but I have the basic knowledge of, hey, on stable coins, they're offering interest on Uphold.
5%.
Yeah. So for somebody we're talking about this. How many comments are we going to get later of, I have no clue what a stable coin even is. What do you mean you're your own bank? We can get out of the banking system? How do I do this? Oh, I have no clue. I need my handheld, which for people that don't know, I don't know if she still does. I feel like she still does, but not only does Dr. Jen do the prosperity group every week, and it goes through the basics. If you once you sign up, you get all videos ever made. She will help you through the basics. You can actually hire her for one-on-one coaching if you're like, hey, I bought some crypto, I have a wallet, I don't know how to move it over. She'll walk you through it, but she ain't gonna do it for free because she's been doing it for quite some time, and she deserves to have her efforts be paid for. And she's gonna make you money, so why would you not? Like,
You know what's
I don't
funny?
understand.
You know what's funny? If
What?
if you put, I don't know, $100 or so right now in crypto,
Yep.
you will make back everything and probably at least 5x it over the next 30 days in the right stuff.
I don't think.
But I'm
people
telling you, but you know
understand.
what? You know what the problem is, Nicolette? Whether it's
Excuses.
crypto, whether it's healthcare, whether it's anything at home, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
People are terrified of investing in themselves.
You froze. And once again, this is one of the things that it's nothing more than excuses. It's excuses of, I don't know how, or I don't know. I'm not technology savvy. And this goes with everything. You are, I said it earlier to Dr. Dean behind the scenes. I said, people are their own worst enemies.
Of
All
course
of
they are.
those excuses, throw them out. That's literally just throw out the excuses, get out there and do it. Take risks. I don't, I don't know about you, but I don't want to live in a world without risk. I don't want to live in a world that is
By the way, all my
supposedly
risks
like,
are totally calculated risks. None of them are like, oh my
right,
God, I'm
right,
not gambling. I'm actually like risk reward investing.
right. I'm not saying max out credit cards and throw a bunch of money on a freaking poker table or something. I'm saying take the risks of things that are unknown to you. Learn new things. Those are the risks that I'm talking about. Stuff that actually enriches your life. Versus, I said this morning, and it was so stupid. My dogs got into the trash. We had leftover
It's always
containers
fun.
and coffee grounds and diapers and you name it. And my dog knocked over the trash can and chewed a bunch of shit up all in my kitchen, and I was pissed. And I was like, I was going off, and I was like, every day, like, do people ever get pissed about their day being the same? Complacency. Like, I don't like being that foot soldier of going through the same motions every day. I
No
like to
way.
learn things. It's boring to me if I'm not learning new things. Um,
That's why, like,
I
my
like
mom
we
was
don't
like, "Hey, can
actually
you
do it
fly?"
every day.
My mom's like, "Can you fly?" I'm like, "Let's fly. 3 days away. Let's go on an adventure."
I'm now in that mentality too. And I wasn't 2 years ago, but I booked 3 different vacations this coming year. Some for work, some for not. But I was like, we're gonna fly. We're gonna book the Airbnb. Have no clue if I'll be able to afford it when the time comes around. But guess what? This shit's already paid for, so I'll figure it out. I'm okay with it.
You have to be willing. You have to be willing to go on an adventure.
I usually like car rides, but now with 2 kids, I don't know how my parents did it with 3. I'm like, no, let's figure out the flying thing. 'Cause
We
I'm not
we are
trying to be in
actually
the car for 2 days.
we put on the calendar. They might have to shift a little bit. We put on the calendar multiple international trips this year
Okay, that's awesome.
out of the country. Like we haven't been out of the country in so long. And when Nicolette, when you get out of the country, your entire life view shifts radically.
I get it. I'm like, there's places that I would go out of the country despite my past grievances. Tim and I have a list of places, which we will. That is not a, oh, maybe one day. It's no, we will. I will figure it out. But we have a few things that are like actually on the calendar this year, and I was like, let's make a trip out of it because why not?
My wife put down Iceland. Do you know why?
Iceland's beautiful.
Do you know why?
No.
They have a resort up there, which is made of ice, but it's got like warm springs.
Yeah.
She
The hot spring.
Yeah, my daughter was watching a YouTube video from some really like successful influencer who's pretty cool, and
Yeah.
they went there, and my wife saw it, and she's like, "That just looks cool."
Hold on a second. I'm looking it up right now. I believe in Iceland, and this would be very, very cool if you guys could do it, but they have the kayaking that is like see-through on the bottom.
Oh, is it? Don't they have a lake up there that's called something? It's like
Yeah, something
it's
like
like
that. So look
perfectly
into
clear
that
water.
because something like that is like I'm all about that shit. That's really cool
Yeah.
experiences.
So
For us,
that is on that's on apparently our list. Maybe we'll get there when Greenland's purchased.
I want people to, I don't know. We talk about everything that we're doing, and I feel like a lot of times it comes across as us to, like, how many people tell you that I don't like the way you preach at the audience?
I don't care anymore.
I know you don't care, but
You know why I don't care? Let me tell you why I don't care. Let me be a little bit antagonistic and a little bit egotistic right now. You know what? Nicolette, what percentage have we been right from the very beginning?
oh,
And
yeah,
are we seeing it even more now?
yeah.
And I'm not saying like I'm not trying to be right. I'm just saying we freaking know what we're talking about. Both from a political standpoint, from a health standpoint, from across, like we know what's happening. And and most people out there are being led down stupid roads by ridiculousness.
Well, that's where it comes from. That's where our preaching comes from, is because the frustration of watching these people fall back into the same traps, still eating the shit, still listening to left, right wing pundits, still falling for warmongers. All of these things are so frustrating, which is why it comes off as preachy. We want better for you. I did a whole 15 minutes of it yesterday about going through some of my health issues that I'm working on and talking about why we switched to the other products. I said, I understand that not everybody can afford things, but one, it's an investment. Two, I try to make it as easy as possible for people to get stuff. Unfortunately, they tie the hands of natural health, so things do cost more money. I said, but I do everything that I can because I just want people to start. I want better for them.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want you going to an urgent care and getting antibiotics. I want you to be able to have biotoxin binder or whatever on your shelf to be able to take at any time that you feel something coming on. That's what it comes down to, is we just want better for people. I want better for, I said it not only today on X or whatever, we focus so much on the US, but when it comes to the cabal and left, right, they sell you on it, but that's an American thing.
Yeah.
I understand a lot of other countries, they're like, oh, this person's conservative and stuff. No, it's an American thing. But the cabal isn't just after the US, it's after the whole world. And we've said it multiple times that if the US falls, because we have the most freedoms, at least the blind freedoms that we think we have, at least the written documents of freedoms. If we don't save this, then we're fucked. And if our people can't think straight because we don't have a transparent government, I don't know where we go forward with that.
Yep.
Somebody said Lizzie says it's the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. So write that down. Have your wife look it up.
Oh no, she's already all over it. She's already
okay. I was like, I'll text your wife and be like, go do this and send pictures.
When you look, I mean, it's just a small little island like next to the UK. It's like it's not necessarily hard to get to.
Yeah, I'm not a cold weather person. You guys tend to take a lot of trips in cold weather.
Do you know why?
I know you live in Florida, but like,
do you know why?
I don't. Why?
Because all her trips, because she loves the beach. Mm-hmm. So she's like, we're going to the beach. We're going to the beach. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll go to the beach. But if you're going to the beach all the time, I got to counteract that with something not 110 degrees. Like, whether it's the mountains or somewhere else. Like, can I get a little bit of cool weather to where you can just like something to counteract? Because obviously in Florida, I love Florida, but around year, we're usually no less than 70 or 80 degrees outside, right? Even in the winter. So if I'm going to be hot, then we need a little bit of offset. So I think we're also going skiing this year too.
Yeah, I don't like wintry activities too much, but part of it is I've lived in Michigan my entire life.
There's nothing like skiing.
I've actually never been skiing.
Oh
Something
my
like
God.
That does not. I am a very outdoorsy person, but I'd rather go on a hike and sweat my ass off and like reach a waterfall at the end.
You sweat your ass off skiing if you're doing it right.
I don't like, so this is one of the biggest things, and maybe it's like I'm pretty sure it's like a neuropathy thing. It's not like a problem, but I hate that feeling. And I remember it as a kid. You go outside, play in the snow, you're having so much fun, and you're super, like, you start to get sweaty and stuff. And then when you come in and you take everything off and you get that like needle feeling as your body's warming up, I hate that. I hate it. I don't like outdoor cold things. Tim wants to go to Alaska, which I'm okay with. However,
so we've also been offered to go to Alaska by a friend of ours because we have a Cairo friend up there.
Please.
And he's like, hey, you need to come up and do Alaska. He said, but if you're going to come to Alaska, it's a 2-week situation. It's not like you can't come up there for like a few days or even a week. Like you can, but it's kind of like Australia and other places. Like it's a 2-week situation.
Never going to Australia. That one's off the list.
Listen, hey.
We've talked about that before.
If they turn it over, Australia is an amazing place, supposedly.
What? You're going to kill all the snakes and spiders? No, thanks. I don't mind snakes and spiders.
I'm not going to live with them.
Yeah, but I'm good on that.
You got to go to see it. I mean, come on. Like, I have to, like, part of me has to go to, like, the crocodile hunter. Is it the crocodile hunter? No. What was his name?
What's Steve Irwin?
Yeah. Oh, he's a legend.
Yeah. You know what? And that's one of the things with Alaska. Lizzie says, do the cruise. I think that is the plan for when we do finally go to Alaska. Like, we'll stay there somewhat, but every time we went to any kind of aquarium or something, Bradley was always like, do you have whales here? Do you have whales here? And like, obviously most aquariums don't have freaking whales. And
I will say with Alaska, so I will go back to Italy this year too. And so I've been to a cruise through Europe twice, right? Mm-hmm. I told my wife, if we go to Italy or France, or if we go to Italy or Europe this year, I'm not doing a cruise. I want Italy on foot or by vehicle. Like I want to do it ourselves. Alaska, the first time, I wouldn't mind doing a cruise because I think there's things you can only see if the boat's going to get you into spots, if that makes sense, versus just going on your own. So I would do a cruise for Alaska, but if I go back to Europe or anything like that, I'm going by foot.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Our set goal is like Greece and Europe and all those things. But me and Tim are I was never like this as a kid,
Greece is ridiculous.
I'm a very big history buff, and especially for like mythology and all of those things. I want to go to those type of museums and actually see, the Colosseum in Rome and all these other things.
When you go overseas, I'm telling you right now,
I'm a freaking tourist when it comes to shit like this.
No.
I know, I'm just saying.
You being a history buff, but also you being a military person and a military wife. Mm-hmm. When you go over there and you experience their culture and the absence of America in your ears or in your eyes all the time, Nicolette, you come back like, how like sometimes like we get called like not non-American, but how sometimes they're like even the Islam thing yesterday. And people are like, oh, you suck. You don't like America. You're this, you're that. Like that very hyper American stupidity.
Yeah, I get it.
When you go to Europe or anywhere else out in the United States, you see how much America's lying about everything.
Oh yeah.
And you see the culture in other places, and you're like, you meet people who are obviously totally different religions, totally different cultures, and you see how nice they are, and they're just happy. And you come home, Nicolette, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with our country?
Yeah, America is such a bubble when it comes to things like that. And I don't even have to be outside of America to know that. Just based off of studying, I can tell we're uncultured people.
Right.
We're extremely uncultured.
You go over there and you see little kids of different face and different colors, right? And obviously we're sane about this.
Yeah.
And then you come back here and you hear some stupid American going, Islam is terror. Like, you're like, shut up. Like, you
Or
have no
even-
concept of human behavior.
Even the petty things, like something about Taylor Swift or the Kardashians or something. I'm like, I already am in the mindset of like, who fucking cares? But it's not that big of a thing overseas. Yeah, they have celebrities, but the pop
It's just a
culture in
different world.
America is so different compared to the rest of the countries. I don't know. Everybody set goals for yourself. We're gonna wrap up the show.
Set your goals. Check out, you'll get the stuff. I will be working on the weekend because I have some time. So I will be in hotels and I can get a lot more done sometimes I'm in hotels.
Can you do the show tomorrow or do you need me to do it?
No, I will be fine. My flight's at like
Okay.
7 o'clock tomorrow. I moved it till later. So flying in late,
Okay.
which is easier for me. So yeah, I should be around and should be good. Everyone will get probably the information for the metabolic reset, and just keep an eye for everybody out there. I'll be doing a lot of webinars this year, whether it's the full moon parasite purge or it's the metabolic reset or it's other stuff coming. I just want everybody to know, not every one of them is the same. So some people are like, oh, I've seen one. I don't need to see. No. They change. I evolve them. Things move. Things shift. So be sure to do that. We're going to set it up so you can refer people over to things and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I want everybody to have...
For 2 seconds.
What's that? Go ahead.
As you say that, the webinars, for people that are like, we are slow rolling a bunch of new products. I'm not saying all of these products, but just to give you guys an idea, we have a ton more, but it's been very slow picking up. And I understand around the holidays. So once we get people into the basic ones, we'll start releasing the other stuff, but we need people on board. So there's that.
We will get there. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your, I guess, New Year's, whatever this week is, completely screwed up. So stupid.
A throwaway week. Nobody's doing anything.
I can't stand throwaway weeks, but that's really what it feels like it's turning into. But enjoy, everybody. Please do me a favor. Stay out of the roller coaster media BS. Like, don't buy it. Like, there's a reason they're showing it to you. And there's also a reason your social media influencers are showing it to you as well. They're showing it to you because they want you caught in that matrix. That's what they want you caught in. And when you get above it and you rise above it, your life becomes so much more sane. So love, serve, and help the best you can. For Nicolette, it's Dr. Dean. It's Brave TV. Have a great rest of your Thursday. We will see you for Prosperity Group tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow for the weekend. Have fun, everybody.
Bye, everyone.